This is the Touchstone Pistachio Company's Fall and Harvest 2022 Market Update. In this market update, we will look at the 2022 harvest, including crop receipts and quality, bearing acres, global supply, as well as total export shipments, top 5 export countries, and the United States. Finally, we will share our views on market trends, current market activity, and pricing. Lastly, we will review the latest syndicated data from the U.S. domestic market. This harvest season has been unlike anyone expected. New acres coming into bearing put the expected total bearing acres at around 440,000. Early on in harvest, it became apparent that yields would be off. Leading factors contributing to lower crop yields are 2 previous back-to-back large crops, an uneven spring bloom, excessive drought and water restrictions, and an unusually excessive September heat wave. Overall, crop yields are down between 20 to 30%. As of September 30th, just over 774 million pounds had been harvested. There is approximately 10 days left of harvest. We expect this year's total receipts to be around 850 million pounds, roughly a 27% decrease from last year. We will send an update once final crop receipts are reported at the end of October. Nut size this crop year is slightly larger than last crop year. Most are offering 21-27 as the standard size this year. Touchstone's official sizing for this crop year is 21-26 and 19-22. Crop quality looks good, with low levels of light and dark stain, and insect damage under 0.5%. Close shell yields are between 15 to 20%, which is significantly higher than last year's yields and in line with historical averages. There will be more closed shell and kernels in the market this crop year. The overall global supply will be less than last year, with devastating weather events in Iran putting their crop between 60 to 80,000 metric tons. This will have an impact to demand in the Middle East and India. Turkey is expected to harvest around 200,000 metric tons. This slide reflects the year-to-date September to August shipments by region. For comparison purposes, we will compare 2021 crop shipments with the 2022 marketing year. Shipments this crop year started off strong, but declined over the winter months due to supply chain constraints. We saw shipments begin to pick up early spring and have continued to be consistent. Year-to-date, export shipments are up 22%. Shipments into Europe are flat versus last year, with just over 198 million pounds shipped. Demand is steady and consumption remains strong. Germany, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands headline shipments for the year. France, Poland, and Lithuania have seen steady growth this year. Each country had an increase of over 2 million pounds in shipments. The Ukrainian conflict has not had an impact on European deliveries, yet the economic impact of the conflict is undeniable. The increase in energy costs, unfavorable exchange rates, unsold inventory, and slower retail sales pose a concern. These factors may impact consumption of luxury items such as pistachios. The Middle East saw strong demand for U.S. pistachios this year, with notable gains in the UAE, Jordan, and Turkey. This is primarily due to small crops out of both Iran and Turkey this marketing year. In total, the region was up over 132% versus last season. In North America, shipments are up 10% versus last year, with deliveries of 34.8 million pounds. Shipments into Canada remain flat versus last year at just over 22 million pounds year to date. Demand for pistachios in Mexico continues to grow. Year to date, over 12.7 million pounds have shipped, a 30% increase versus last year, and a 100% increase from 2018. Consumption in Oceania was flat versus last season. Australia, typically the largest consumer of U.S. pistachios, is now at a point where they provide about 2/3 of their annual consumption from their own production. In Central and South America, shipments totaled just over 3.58 million pounds, an increase of just about 4% versus last year. We continue to see an increase in consumption in the South America region, with Chile, Colombia, and Peru being the key drivers. September to November is poised to be a heavy shipment period. Demand is strong and the interest for early new crop shipments has been high. While the transportation climate in California lightened up over the summer, we are starting to see a rise in disruptions again. The California port delays, congestion at transshipment ports, and a new wave of general rate increases make securing bookings and shipping extremely difficult. Pistachio growth in the U.S. market has been positive for the past 5 years and is projected to continue to rise. Year-to-date shipments of over 262 million pounds is up 6% versus last year and up 16% versus 2018. China, Germany, Turkey, Spain, and Canada are the top 5 export markets as of August. We would like to point out that Hong Kong is not in the top 5 for the crop year. At a close 22 million pounds, shipments to Hong Kong are down 30% versus last year. Additionally, U.S. shipments to India reached 20 million pounds for the first time in history. This 143% increase from last year is noteworthy, and we wanted to take a special note of it. The shift in Turkey and India are wholly attributed to smaller crops out of Iran and Turkey. In China, shipments have remained strong year over year. This crop year was no different, with more than 152 million pounds shipped, an increase of 20% versus last year. We should see higher shipments to China in September and October with the earlier Chinese New Year holiday. Germany had a strong year, with 81.5 million pounds shipped. This is 3% more than last year. We expect demand in Germany to remain strong for the fourth quarter. Turkey had a record shipment year for U.S. pistachios. 41.9 million pounds have been shipped to Turkey since September 2021, a 488% increase from the year prior. With the lack of local product, Turkey bought large quantities of in-shell, kernels, and closed shell from the United States. With the lower global supply for the 2022 crop, we anticipate similar shipments for the upcoming crop year. Spain continues to be the second largest market in Europe, with 26.7 million pounds shipped year to date. That puts growth at 7% from last year. Demand in Spain is expected to remain solid this upcoming season. Lastly, the 22 million pounds shipped into Canada this crop year were record-breaking and moved Canada to number 5 on this list. Both in-shell and kernels saw slight increases this year, putting overall shipments flat versus last year. Another factor might have been the Canadian currency's exchange performance against a strong US dollar, which fared better than most global currencies. We want to clarify that these are price ranges heard in the industry of offers or indications or business concluded over the past few weeks. In-shell pricing has steadily firmed up over the past few months. Initial indications of new crop post-bloom were $340 to $345. Yet as the summer months went on, pricing firmed up to $350 to $355. This past week, the market firmed up even more to $360 to $365 as demand from Asia and Europe increased. Spot buys have been done at $360 consistently, with decent volume business concluded at $355. Large volume deals into Europe have reportedly been done sub $350 by some of the larger processors. Lower crop yields during a projected on-year have created a slower moving market this harvest season. Many independents are not in a hurry to sell large volumes, and buyers are not in a hurry to contract for the whole crop year. Our recommendation is to proceed with caution. Pricing may fluctuate both ways as the season progresses, and processors may find themselves in a position where they are fully committed for the season. Nielsen data for the past 52 weeks through September 11, 2022, shows consistent pistachio consumption, with volume relatively unchanged from last year. Pistachios are the third highest priced nut on a per-pound basis, yet they continue to lead the nut category. There were 97.9 million pounds of pistachios sold in the United States over the past 52 weeks, a 4% increase in volume and a 3% increase in sales. In each of the 8 regions of the United States, kernels have consistently outpaced in-shell. Kernels accounted for 43% of total pistachio dollar sales in the past 52 weeks. Flavored kernels are up 12% versus last year, and unflavored kernels are up 8%. Private label represented 9.6% of the total pistachio dollars over the past 52 weeks, a decrease from last year. Despite aggressive shelf prices compared to the national brand, private label ended the year with a loss in both dollars and volume, down 11% in dollars and down 10% in volume. The pistachio category continues to grow with new items, stable retail prices, and aggressive promotions. We expect consumption to be strong during the holiday season and continue through the first quarter of 2023. This concludes our market update. For any questions, comments, or inquiries, please reach out to your sales rep below. Our next market update will be released in the winter after the holiday season.